3 important ways your self-image is creating the results that are present in your life today. In this video, you will learn what those 3 things are and steps to begin changing it if you're unhappy with the results that are present in your life today. Dyer said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. So before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe with the notification bell so that you can be notified. Like this video if it's helpful, if you want to see more like it. And then I would love it if you leave a comment or any questions that you have that may come up. Let's get into it. The purpose of this work today is to figure out what's creating your reality. So there are 3 important ways that your self-image is actually creating the results that are present in your life. It's present through your personality, who you believe you are, your abilities, what you believe that you're capable of, and your actions. So your self-image helps to dictate what actions you will or will not take. You see, the self-image is the mental picture that you have of yourself. And it's who you believe you are and what you believe that you're capable of. You know, Dweck has a book called Mindset, and a lot of us don't achieve what we set out to achieve in life because we have a fixed mindset, because we don't believe at the core that we're the people who can make that happen, that we're capable of doing that thing. So it's this image in our mind that we project out into the world that lets other people formulate an opinion about who they think we are based on who we think we are. So if you want to change how other people view you, then we have to first change how we view ourselves. And if we want different results in our lives, we have to change that being, who we're being that created those results. And the being is created from who we believe we are at our core. So if you believe you're not confident, then as you walk into the world, you're going to demonstrate not being confident. If you believe that you can't earn a lot of money because you don't know anything about money, then that belief will precede everything that you do as far as money, because you don't identify as someone who makes a lot of money. I had a hard time with this for a long time, for many years, because I didn't grow up around money. I grew up with people who were living and working paycheck to paycheck. So that's what I knew. So of course, that was my pattern. That was my history. That was my paradigm that I had allowed to basically control my present actions. So how does self-image impact our lives? Again, self-image is a direct reflection of who we believe we are. These were decisions that we made a long time ago. And when we made these decisions, we made decisions based on what we believe we were capable of. Our parents helped to make those decisions. They planted ideas into our minds. If I wasn't fast enough to make something happen. Oh, Trey's a slow one. Oh, you can't do that. So that was planted in my mind. It's from our family members. It's from our friends. It's from the environment, what we see as we grow up. The thoughts we have of ourselves are usually not even based in any type of reality. Why? Because it's all made up. We make it up and then we find evidence that proves us right. So I remember when I was growing up, I grew up in Louisiana. I had a lot of friends. I always played sports. And so playing sports, I was always playing a game or something of where, after the game, after a tournament or something, I would, be one of the people that would go over to our friends' homes. And there were, a couple people who had, swimming pools in their backyard. First of all, they were all white. I didn't have any black friends who had a swimming pool in their backyard. So what did I formulate as, fact in my mind was that white people have swimming pools in their backyard and they have a lot of money and they can do that. So I figured when I knew I will have made it, I'll have a swimming pool in my backyard, right? Well, now I live in Arizona. Almost everyone has a swimming pool in their backyard. These ideas are planted. And then what happens is, as we go and get older, as we go through life, we find more evidence of that. Why? Because that's where our attention is. If we are locked in the thinking of, I'm not good enough, my personality, I'm not outgoing enough. I am not smart enough. I don't have the wits or the capabilities to do what so-and-so is doing. So as we continue to get into it, I want you to think about what is present for you and how do you presently define who you are? What is it that you're showing the world as you walk through the world and how people are reflecting and responding to you? If someone wrote you, your real life person and persona as a character in a novel, what would be those character traits, that character description? And I want you to actually take a moment right now and ask yourself, who am I? And answer it 5 different times. Who am I? Am I confident? Am I inspiring? Am I overweight? Am I muscular? Am I beautiful? Because we place these judgments and criticisms on ourselves, and it reflects. It reflects in how we interact and view other people. So I want you to do it. Ask yourself 5 times, who am I? And I want you to go past the point of just going, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a father. Those things, those are fine, but I want you to go deeper than that. I want you to get down to the core of when you think about in those moments when, for example, when I don't say something because I'm afraid of what, the consequences will be. Who am I in that moment? Am I mousy? Am I someone who withholds my opinion, withholds my voice? Who am I? What I want to get through today is that who we identify as informs our thoughts, right? So if we don't think we're confident, then we're not going to have confident thoughts. Now, those thoughts drive how we feel, which creates the actions that we do or do not take, which gives you the present results that you have in your life. And if we want to change the results we have today, we have to first change the way we view ourselves. And, sometimes it's too far-fetched to go, I'm just going to be like, oh, I'm not confident. Oh, I'm confident, right? We're not going to go just the opposite because sometimes we can't believe that. So we need to figure out, okay, what is it along the path of going to confident? Can I actually believe and begin to find evidence that supports that, right? That begins to build a better foundation. And so when we become aware of our self-image, we become aware of what is being reflected to the outside world and to me because I'm creating it from those inner thoughts with my personality. Oh, I'm an introvert. I can't, interact with all these people all the time. Oh, I'm shy. I can't do this. I'm not made to be on stage, right? What are your abilities? Right? So becoming aware of your personality, your abilities. Are you as smart as so-and-so? Can you never do that thing? And then your appearance. One of the things that is said, I've always laughed about it when growing up, and it'd be like, oh, she'll never lose that weight because she's big boned, right? A lot of you have heard that. She's big boned. And that's how you say it, right? You big boned it. And so that begins to stick with you, right? And if you're someone who receives something like that, how hard was it for you to change? So those things begin internally and they stay there as part of your paradigm, as part of your stories, your beliefs, all the things that are automated after years of repeating and repeating and repeating those patterns. One of my favorite quotes by Tony Robbins, the strongest force within the human personality is to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. And again, those decisions were made a long time ago. I didn't have as much money as my friends who had pools in their backyard. So again, I was less than. I wasn't quite as fast. Now, I was fast, but not the fastest, right? I wasn't as smart. So I was never going to, get an A in math. That became to dictate what I thought I was capable of. And so I want you to think about those patterns of belief and those thoughts in you that where have you placed a glass ceiling on what exactly you're capable of? Once your brain goes, oh, Trey has defined who she is. That's where we are. Your brain will always try to keep you there. It will always try to take you back to that default place because that's what you trained it to do. Because it wants to keep you safe. It doesn't want you to go out there and embarrass yourself. It wants you to feel loved and appreciated and accepted. And it wants you to feel like you're enough. And so once we've told it over and over and over again for decades that this is who we are, it goes, yep, that's who you are. All right, why are you trying to change now? There's no changing now. So we want to become aware of what those images are when we look into the mirror. What is it that you see? Then we want to make a decision to let go of what may have once served you a long time ago, but is no longer serving you now. And then we start to create the you really want to be to get the results that you really want in your life. We can't keep doing the same things we've always gotten and get different results, right? You got to change. Things have to change. And the fastest way to change something is to shift your identity. I'm a firm believer of that. People disagree with me on that, but you know what? I'm not here to agree with everybody. I believe it's the fastest way. So the more that you do this, you then begin to replace the old thinking, that old paradigm, those old patterns, and you establish and rewire new patterns and new habits of behavior that will help you lay different tracks in the direction that you actually want to go. And we want that road to be the road less traveled, right? The road less traveled based on the path that you have been traveling, not that predictable train track that's going, yep, I always thought I didn't have any money, so I don't have any money. So here's a train going down to the depot that doesn't have any money, right? So we want to lay different track. And the more you do it, the easier it will become, and you will have changed your path in life. And then your train, your metaphorical train, will start traveling down a different path. And before you know it, because you've changed who you are on the inside, people will start noticing these things. People will start responding to you differently. Let's make sure that it's the images, it's how we define ourselves, so that we can get the things that we really want in life. So the more you do this, you then begin to replace the old thinking and you set new patterns of behavior. You're like laying new train tracks so that the train is going in a different direction. And in your case, we want that train to go down a road less traveled. We want it to go down a different path than you've been going down, because now once we begin to change the inner game, we now become someone we've never been, so that we can get things that we've never had. And the more you do this, the more those new things start taking shape and you repeat and repeat and repeat. Guess what? We've now shifted that program, that operating system, that paradigm that's been running your life for probably decades. And the more you do this, the easier it will become. And then one day you're going to look up and go, I'm being intentional with who I'm being today. This is who I believe myself to be. I find evidence of that in all these different walks of life. And now I look around at my life and the results are different. I have become the person that I always knew I could be, my next level. I hope you guys liked this video and found it to be helpful in creating your next level you. Remember to subscribe to this channel, and if you liked it, share it with someone who you think may find it valuable. I'll see you on the next video.